Hey Scorpio, how are you guys? Let's do your reading. So, let me show you a pre-shuffle. So we have Four of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, leaving a difficult situation, and Two of Swords, maybe blocking, can't see straight. This is Four of Pentacles is typically an inability to let go, or it's like a protection. So somebody may be walking away from something that's difficult, but in order to protect themselves. I'm getting also somebody's tired of fighting. Tired of fighting. So done with it, over it, leveled up. Kind of makes it, you know, once you see things clearly and you really do some growth and healing, it's like you're kind of over it, the toxic stuff. It's not hard anymore to let things go. It's just harder to be around it. Does that make sense? Go along with it. You just don't vibe with it anymore, you know? So, I was getting something else. Okay, so we have a Tower, which means something came tumbling down. I believe it was to your advantage, though. Maybe something that you didn't want to face, something that was hidden became clear. Oh wow, look at these three together. So you get the Moon card, something that maybe you got sucked into or sank into, but something that was not that kind of had a bit of a sinking feeling, or just could have been hidden. But this is clarity. This is not even really searching for answers anymore. This is just clear, rising above. Big elevation, elevating, judgment, second chances, freeing. You may have somebody that's wanting a second chance, but I don't think that's our main story. Okay, you. Full of love. It's radiating out of you. I feel a freedom, being free of something that's been stifling. Two of Pentacles, okay. Six of Pentacles, the Chariot, Queen of Cups. Wow, strong connection here with the King and Queen of Cups. We could have a indication of. Yeah, I feel like I'm talking in riddles. Let's see. You hear my wind chimes, aren't they lovely? Very calm energy just came through. Let's see. New love beginning. You're, somebody's walking away. I feel like you're leaving a very difficult situation. I feel like you've been through and you've come so far. You've been through a lot, but you're doing well to keep going and to get through it. Open your heart chakra. Wow, look at the outcome. The Empress. Isn't she lovely? A lot of love. So major love going on here. Another one. Wow, lots of nines. Okay. In this Nine of Cups, we have a lot of self-love, abundance. We have that here too. We have an ability to be alone or to be independent and to find that love from within rather than relying on it from outside sources, which would always end up eventually failing us at some time, right? We're going to have to look into this Tower. But you have a King and Queen of Cups. Let me just feel for this one moment. You know, Scorpio, it feels, this is kind of has a feel of needing to realize that you are at a place where you've given, you've put up with conflict, you've been through a lot, you've continued to give through for a lot, but have you been open actually to receive? And have you given enough attention back to yourself? Because when you start giving attention to yourself and self-care, self-love, compliment yourself, when you go through some of these, healing practices, you innately, just automatically start becoming more the person that is going to attract the right partner. I do feel like this is love, but there is a strong sense of freeing yourself from a difficult situation that was maybe a struggle to continue to give, moving away from that Tower. Finally, you're not the only sign getting this right now. What I think you don't see is once you go through a little bit of a healing process in being alone and not needing it or letting go of needing it from others, it feels like a constant give, like, but you don't ever, it's like you can't constantly exhale. You got to inhale too. You've got to take that air back in. But somebody was sucking the air out of you, or maybe it was you. And I mean, sometimes it's us that does that. It's us that constantly gives, even when it's not totally expected, and we kind of set ourselves up for that because it's, a way that we feel like that's how we show our value. But I think the person that you need to convince or show your value to is yourself here, and things will turn around. This is a strong sense of needing to be open to receive love. And then in essence, that's when things start coming in. When you reach for it for yourself rather than for what you can do for everyone else. So I want to see what happened with this moon. What was hidden? Something was hidden. Something was hidden, and I think it has to do with you. So 5 of Wands, conflict. Maybe like a you versus you. Look, here's a freedom, the Fool. And then we have the 6 of Swords. So maybe what was hidden was leaving the conflict was going to bring the answers instead of trying to fix the conflict. Yeah. How powerful. It's been a long, hard road, but I think once you decide to just turn your back and leave the conflict, that's, like the hidden. Instead of trying to fix it, if you're trying to fix something, it's kind of like that definition of insanity is continuing to do the same thing, but expecting a different result. Your outcome is the Empress. She is nurturing and loving, and this is going to bring you back to a place of who you are and who you once were and who you really always have been but have lost somehow. Trying to please... Oh, sorry. Take the camera. Hold on. We've got this. Okay. So 7 of Swords. I wasn't asking a question. Look at that, though. Knight of Swords, 7 of Swords. This has got to fake it till you make it. Feel maybe it's time to stop faking it till you make it and actually make it or leave it. Taking steps towards. So the answer is always going to be, when you don't know what to do, the answer is always going to be take one little step, and then you take another little step. Feel signs, like I need to ask for signs. Okay, we got Emperor, Empress here. You may have a twin flame scenario going on. This Queen of Pentacles, it could indicate a mother or a wife, but it's feeling like almost like an advice. Like maybe lean on someone for help to get you through a transition or to help you figure out a transition. Help you come up with a plan. Somebody older, stable. Don't share things with people that don't deserve to know, you know. But this has got some strategy here. Somebody that can help you get back on your feet emotionally, mentally. Don't isolate, because I feel like maybe there's been some pretending of being happy and fake it till you make it instead of actually taking some steps. Well, actually, I feel like maybe trying to make something work and faking it till you make it, which is not always a bad thing, but it may have done more damage than good, because it isolated you from somebody that could help you possibly and help you get just, I need a plan. I need to take some steps, and I'm at a place, mentally, emotionally, where I just am struggling to get a plan in place and take steps, something like that. Whereas, there are people that are willing to help, and other people that have been through difficult times. You've got major good stuff here, though. But maybe what it's looking like is, instead of forcing it into a situation that isn't that good, it's like time to at some point you gotta say this. At some point it's kind of like there's a saying of when the pain gets too great, you'll do something about it. You know what I mean? But it's like you gotta know when to fold them. You gotta know when this is just not salvageable, or this is just not the route, and if that changes, then I can readjust. But as of now, something better is out there for you that is going to be not all one way, unreciprocated. Temperance. So I keep feeling, see these two spheres, here's two spheres, here's two spheres, here's two. There's maybe a big decision here. There's a Sagittarius. Can you tell me more? Whoa. Nine of Swords. Maybe there's a need to just embrace the lesson, embrace the pain, know that it's painful. We don't want to fight healthy emotions. We tend to fight healthy emotions when actually those healthy emotions can help us heal and progress. So any advice? Pisces, you've got self-love all over this. Time to take care of yourself. Let go of things that are holding you back. Take action. Look at that. Looks like you've got new love coming in. I'm wondering if there is a scenario also for some of you that, now remember we did get some twin flame energy, but for some of you that you've been in a relation, or somebody's been in a karmic or a relationship that needs to end in order for the right person to make space for the right person. Yeah, new beginning. But you see, you got to leave something. It's going to have to come to that. I'm sorry the readings are a little repetitive, but that's what I'm getting. Leaving a situation that wasn't growing. And if you need to ask for help to come up with a plan, ask for help, Let me see if anything comes up for these. Look at that, Knight of Swords. There it is again, the deception card. It's upside down. Oh, maybe the deck was upside down. Yeah. So this is King of Cups. He's not feeling real lovey-dovey, is he? I don't know. Do you have maybe a gaslighter or a narcissist that love bombs when you try to leave? I don't know. I feel like there's a message here too. You have got something good coming, but you got to clear space for it. And I feel like there's some woman, possibly a woman. Of course, it's no real gender in tarot, but an older, wiser, maternal type person that can help you come up with a plan. I feel it might be important to talk to someone. Let me get a soul's card. Soul's journey. No, this one. Real quick. TikTok. Interesting. 30 and 31 right together. Let me see what that says. I don't really know how to read that. 30. A lot of what's coming through right now. Okay, I'm going to read this because my thumb went right to it. It says, motives, driving intention, the power of knowing the why. I love that. It's like, we don't go to the gym. You got to find your why. We don't, get up in the morning and get chores done and clean our house or whatever because we always feel like it. We do it because of the why. What's your why? Your why, a lot of times my why is my daughter. My why is I want to feel good. I want to feel healthy. I want to look good, So sometimes you got to start with the why. Start with the end in mind, which, often is tied to the why. So it says there's great power in understanding your motives right now. The oracle asks you to be very clear about why you're asking a question, looking for this answer, behaving this way, and most importantly, making this choice. Knowing your why is the key to fulfillment. When you're clear about it, your intention will then be a magnet for miracles. Motives define the nature of your experience. When you think about something, feel it, then act on it. This invisible why is the life force energy within the seed, which brings it to life and holds the potential for growth. We don't always know why we engage in our relationships in the way we do, mostly because our feelings aren't always logical. Now is the time to recognize whether you're being triggered by someone else or if your behavior is motivated by unresolved issues. When you ask yourself, why am I feeling like this? And why did I say that? Okay, that brings me to another thing I've been feeling a lot to share with you guys is to recognize patterns of what triggers you to feel a certain way and to act a certain way or to have a good day or a bad day or, But it says, why did I say that? And spend some time in introspection. The answers may be surprising. Listen to the messages from your intuition, from the knowing deep within you. What does it tell you about yourself and others? In the end, life is all about being loved. Miracles and deep understanding of your needs and how to get them met are the buried treasures of the why. You can uncover them by posing the most powerful question you can ask yourself and your partner today, the why. So why do you want to change things? Why do you want to get to another place? Why aren't you happy? Why? Ask the whys, okay? And then let's look at TikTok because I feel like that one's pretty important. Okay. It says, divine timing and measurable time. I feel like this is saying, why is it time? I feel like this is saying, this card is probably going to read something different, but I really am feeling, there's another 1-3, which I think is strange. You see that? That just caught my eye, 3, 1, 3, 3, 1. So I almost feel like this might be backwards. It says, when humans created time, everything changed and contracted. People have come to look at life in a linear way, imagining that the past is behind them and the future is ahead of them. But what if that isn't true? What if everything, creativity, beauty, chaos, and order were happening now in glorious timelessness? So I want to say that if somebody's saying it's too late, then maybe that's where you need to go to the why. Well, why is it too late? And then you'll probably be able to debunk those excuses, Something beautiful is happening. Let's see. Let's see if we can get something else. I release the need to know all the answers. Patience. surrender. I can release the need to control. So you don't have to have the whole map. So I feel like you're going to go to someone for help. You're getting out of something difficult. You've got beautiful love coming, but I think it's going to start with your self-love, okay? It's going to start with putting energy into yourself, and then you become the person that attracts someone that is like you, someone that you want, okay? Let me see. I feel like you're going to go to someone, or it would be wise to go to someone that you can lean on to talk to. Don't isolate. Let go of the need to, maybe that's your why. Why am I hiding this? Why am I pretending I'm okay when I'm not? Okay? Something, there's some sort of someone in here that can help. So I release my need to control. You need to understand the distinction between power and control. You have the power of internal control, but very little external control over people or situations. The majority of your external control is through the power of influence. You can lead by example. Every soul has its own unique path, and it's not your job to dictate it. Giving advice or direction in a compassionate manner is the way to go. Your soul, too, has a path, and you possess the power to control it, but you must surrender the illusion that you have control over another. Okay, so somebody's really struggling with, why did someone else do something? Why is someone else not acting like they should? Why is someone else not handling this the way I would? Why is someone else not loving me the way they should love me? Why is someone else valuing me? Okay, so that needs to be released. Remember that this is a process, and from time to time your ego will rise up and demand that things be the way they should be. Envision a hot air balloon being loaded up with all the things you think you need to control, and let them ride away in the balloon. Let all those things ride away in the balloon. The things that you need to control. Then visualize it, okay? Going away. You'll be surprised to find out that when you release the energy of control and accept the energy of surrender, doors will open that you never expected, because you have now given the universe space in which to materialize what is needed for your highest soul's growth. I want to ask another question about what's coming once you do that. Once you get on this right path, what's coming for Scorpio? A breakthrough and awareness. Okay, so look, financial too. Wow. How crazy is that? I don't know what the deal is with my camera not focusing, but there we go. So Ace of Swords, breakthrough and awareness. 10 of Pentacles, ultimate achievement. So my biggest slap me in the face, won't stop slapping me in the face message here is take the steps. Take a couple steps. Take one step, whether that's reaching out to set up a coffee or a tea or a phone call with someone to talk to. That could be a step, whether it's, you know, getting something cleaned up, getting organized. Just take some steps, because once you take those steps, I asked specifically what's going to happen when Scorpio takes these steps to do this, and you got breakthrough, awareness, and 10 of Pentacles. I mean, amazing, right? You're going to see it clearly once you take some steps. Also, if you're struggling with clarity, then writing things down does major, major miracles for me. I write stuff down, and then I can dissect it. Why do I feel that way? Why? Most of the time I find out that stuff's not so bad. It's just swimming around in my mind, making it seem bad because it's not organized. It's like crazy thoughts, you know. And you can scratch a lot of stuff off that's not really even making sense or even, you know, rational that way. But look at your outcome. Beautiful. I don't know why I don't want to let you guys go. I just don't. Let me see. Let me see. Let me get one more. Let's get a moon card. New moon on Monday. Today is the new moon on Monday, by the way. Okay, yes, now I feel more satisfied. I was just not getting total satisfaction, but now I feel it. The end of a tough cycle approaches. So Scorpio, the end of a tough cycle approaches. You're going to be rewarded big time for taking steps forward. Also, I'm repeating myself. Let me read it. Love it. Karate chops. Okay. How hard are you willing to work for what you want? This card is reminding you that effort is required. Okay, well that is just perfect with what we've been getting. Work issues may be about to come to a head when this card comes up. If you're wondering if you should stay in your job or leave, this card can be a strong sign to make an exit. Wow. Or if that is not the question, then maybe that's the person that you can confide in and say, hey, I need a plan. Will you help me with the plan? Maybe there's someone in your job, right? The end of a rough time is forecast. This card also asks you to consider how ambitious you are and whether you're prepared to pull out all the stops to make your professional dreams come true without being ruthless. With a love question, this card can be a call to face reality. Whatever situation you're asking about, making a plan will help. A strategy. This is a plan. Okay, and it's a plan for your success, for your progress, for your growth. If your personal life is troubled, prioritize it more. Release control. We had that too. I release the need to know the answers. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to have a plan and take some steps, right? So it's a strong work and ethic and energy, and will more likely come up when you're asking about professional question. If your question is about a different matter, it's a much needed reminder to move through any feelings of hopelessness you may be feeling about the situation, and this applies no matter when you draw the card. Making a plan is a far better use of your time. That's crazy because that was what we got. I need help. I need a plan. That's amazing. Scorpio, let's talk in the comments. I love you guys. Please hit like. Tell me where you're watching from. Say hi. I love to see where you're watching from. And I will see you soon. I love when you guys help each other in the comments too. So I'll see you soon. Love you guys. Bye, Scorpio.